This is Susan Bradley for AskWoody.com, and this is Task for the Weekend, August 7th, 2021. So today I'm going to talk about not something that necessarily is a task for right now, but just something to keep in mind for later on, especially if you're moving computers or moving data from one machine to another. So often you have to take ownership of a folder. And what that means is you're got your old hard drive into an external USB enclosure, and you plug it into that computer, and you go to drill down to the user's folder and get some data, and it says you don't have the rights to do so. And so what I usually do is I add a little right mouse click shortcut to the take ownership command, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is a page I usually go to get it if I don't have it on a computer that I already have. And you can either add it to a registry key, or what I usually do is I download this regedit. And so I click on it, I open it up, I run it. It will say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I want to say yes. And then when I'm clicking on a file, let's say I go here to downloads. Let's pretend that this is an external hard drive that I'm going to. When I right mouse click, there's a new little button here that says take ownership, and allows me to take control of that folder. And like I said, this is especially handy when you're migrating to a new computer. And usually what I do when I'm either migrating to a new computer or changing the hard drive on a computer, I will put the old hard drive in an external USB enclosure and hang on to it. Because there's files, just in case there's files that I've forgotten and I want to make sure that I keep. So then I go to that drive and I click on the folder I want to get into, and I click on take ownership. And it runs that little command and gives me the permissions to take ownership of that folder. And as I said, that's something I always keep, because you never know when you might need to take ownership. And again, that's one of the places you can search online and usually find some place that either gives you the manual instructions on how to add it to your registry or a downloadable reg key. The other thing I do is I usually find a video online to help you pry apart the laptop, because invariably there's, especially these days, it seems like that there's all sorts of little hidden screws and locations. So just today, in fact, I worked on an HP Envy, and I had to go online to a YouTube video to find all the different places where the screws were located so I could pry the thing apart. So YouTube is always a good place to look for guidance and information, especially on how to find the screws on how to get a laptop apart. And of course, before you move from an old hard drive to a new hard drive, ideally you export the bookmarks. And especially for those of you that use Firefox, there's a specific folder that has the bookmarks in them. So if for whatever reason you forget to export that out, there's an easy way to move. You literally go to a location on the user folder where those bookmarks are stored, and then you just copy that folder into the new hard drive location, and then click on import bookmarks, browse to that backup folder, and off you go. And this is where having that take ownership really helps out, because invariably on the old hard drive you need to drill down to the user's folder, whatever username they used to log into, and you want to look for what's called the app data, roaming, Mozilla, Firefox, and profiles. And there's usually a backup folder in there, and again you just copy that file onto your new hard drive, go into Firefox, import, and off it goes. It pulls those in. As always, have a great week. The newsletter comes out tomorrow. We're currently on DEFCON 2. Patch Tuesday is this week, and we'll be watching for updates. And I do recommend at this time to install the 2.1H1. So if you're not yet on that version, I recommend that you prepare yourself and and be prepared to install that version. Until next time, this is Susan Bradley for AskWoody.com.